All right, so I'm here with Chef Stephan Klein, who lost 54 pounds in the first phase of the program. So if you want to hear how he's done it as a busy chef and learn about his experience, stick around, guys. Chef, thank you so much for doing this today. Thank you for joining me. Do you want to start by giving whoever's watching this a little bit of an intro about yourself?
Sure. I'm a chef with a lot of experience. 20, I don't know, I think it's 7 years or something of experience. Worked all over the country, really large operations down to smaller operations. Now I do institutional cooking, and manage a pretty large team with that. That's about it. I just realized a few years ago my health kept deteriorating, and I needed to do something to take that back in control, and have been slowly working on everything to do so.
How was your health deteriorating?
Um, well, I have Crohn's disease, and then also the weight gains from COVID that everybody had. They were not coming off. Um, it seemed like no matter what, I couldn't really fix it due to what I had going on health wise, and between hours for work and my schedule and everything, I just couldn't make it happen.
I remember before we even started working together, like we were connecting for like 2 years or something. We went back
Yes.
and forward. You were struggling figuring out what was causing that weird condition, and like
Yes.
what were really was triggering, and it ended up being like the that weird chemical they use on plants and
Yeah,
vegetables in agriculture, right?
I have an extreme allergy, and one of the reactions I have to it, and it's called Cordyceps 15, which is used in almost all beauty and cleaning products in the US. Um, and pretty much anything that's a formaldehyde releasing chemical. Um, I I wind up retaining water and swelling in the space that I use it topically or internally or whatever. But I had such a bad reaction that I wound up in the hospital with the start of I think it was kidney failure and heart failure, which I didn't even realize at the time. I was just feeling dizzy after a Father's Day brunch, and so I went to the hospital right afterwards. Once I thought I had my team set up, I went home to take a shower to try to redress my legs, because at that time they were just, the skin was splitting because they had swollen so big, and they were seeping constantly. And I mean, they said it was almost measurable by the pint,
That's
in
crazy.
liquid that was just coming out daily from my legs. Um, and So I went home to redress, and then went to the hospital, and that's where they started realizing that I was having allergic reactions, and I was in the final worst possible stage if I didn't get it handled right away. And they still had no idea what I was allergic to, so it was just a long process after that, trying to figure out exactly what I was allergic to.
Yeah, definitely a long time, because I
Yep.
remember that being the case when we were first talking, and then from the moment you started, there was like a period of like 2 years or something. But
Yeah.
fortunately, you figured out what it was, and from there you started taking action. What was your first idea or goal? What was your like ideal outcome of a result?
First, I wanted to move without as much stiffness, because I was always feeling stiff at the time. Um, and I think I wanted to lose, what was it then? 15, 20 pounds, I think I told you originally.
Yeah, I think something
And
about that.
you just kind of laughed at me. And so I told you if that could happen and I could just move a little bit easier, that I would be pretty happy, because the whole point was, because I was swollen and so stiff, I got to the point where I was moving my legs without really bending my knees as much, and I couldn't move the same, and I had such inflammation in every possible joint. And once I joined with you, that's one thing, right? If you remember, in the first month, I mentioned that my inflammation was pretty much gone. It was like I was using the bathroom constantly with the new diet, and but my joints were flexible, and that was without exercise at that point. And it was just I felt like I could possibly. I think I told you I feel like I could run again. So it it became really evident quickly that the diet was going to work.
Were you expecting such fast results? Because I think like if
No, not
your expectation was like a smaller number on the scale,
yeah,
right?
not
And we ended up like going way further than that, 54 pounds.
yeah. I
But
think
what
I went to my 20 goal in the first maybe month and a half, and that was my goal for the whole program. So it was pretty ludicrous in how good I felt afterwards, and I was okay with continuing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So what other results did you get? So we got the number on the scale, 54 pounds, which was really nice. And then you managed to get rid of the pain, like starting from the joint pain, moving better.
Yeah,
What
the
else?
biggest thing for me was I could move easy. The joint pain, the out of breath, which yeah, it was caused by obesity and inflammation and everything else. So I still have obesity, but it's not happening anymore. It's not out of breath just walking upstairs or even across the room or anything like that. It's just out of breath when I'm actually exerting myself.
If you could point out anything in the program that you found challenging, what would be it? What was the number one thing you found the most challenging?
Maintaining during the holidays and everything else, that was the biggest challenge because I love food. We all love food. Everybody in this program, we're in this service because we want to make people happy and we love food. That's that's the only reason why anybody's in hospitality. It's not for money. Not a single person that 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 goes into hospitality thinks I'm going to be a millionaire from it, or we're not financiers. We're not you know going with the objective of you know ourselves. We're doing it for others, except we also love food. So during the holidays when all the big meals were coming and stuff, learning to, okay, you can eat, but there's certain things you've got to exclude yourself from, and you've got to be a little bit more choosy over what you eat. So, and that's it. I mean, your whole day around the family to make sure you hit it right about the same time as the diet plan, and it worked. I did it. I think I know I had a couple slip ups, but I did it and I was able to maintain it.
For sure, man. But a couple of slip ups, and you still got to 54 pounds. So
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool. So and besides of the weight, what other like things happened in your life that were positive as a consequence
Oh,
of you getting better health?
well, I met my girlfriend. I changed positions and I make a whole lot more money. To where like after taxes now it's almost double what I'm used to. I have better hours now because I went into institutional cooking. I I changed a lot. Had a lot of outside stressors that just didn't seem to hit me at all. That motivated me for change all at the same time.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Cool, man. What would be your advice for people who are potentially in a similar situation that you were before you got started?
Uh, do it. You're always going to find an excuse. The good thing is with you were willing to work with me and figure it out, and you created a plan I could do it. And it got to the point where I could no longer use the term I plan on it, but not right now. It was years of consistent communication with you, and it wasn't like you were saying hi every 3 or 4 months. It was, I think, every week pretty much you were touching base, just checking in, how you doing, buddy, that kind of stuff, and let the whole time just checking to see how I was doing, but through a lot of stuff. And you were okay with it. You wanted the best outcome for me, and it wasn't even just financial. It was just, okay, let's figure it out, and let's figure out a plan that works for you. So, and that's what you did.
And I think the experience has been pretty rewarding and positive, man. It's great seeing you with all those positive life changes and crushing it out there, and being healthier, more successful,
Thank you.
and now with all those plans that you have for next year, and which you're on your way to achieve them. It's fantastic, and congratulations to you, man, for all
Thank you.
the dedication that you put into this. That clearly paid off for your life. So, man,
yeah.
now it's just encouragement to keep going.
Yeah, and it's insane. And I suggest that everybody kind of do it and think about it, because once you start focusing on yourself, you start realizing all the aspects that you were putting first that became kind of irrelevant in the long run. Like job wise, I mean, I was dedicating myself to a job that probably needed 30 hours a week, maybe, but I was putting in 60 to 70 because I just felt I had to in order to, up the bar or whatever. And then finally it came to the point where there was nothing I could do with that location. So I switched, I started looking, and you were one of my major cheerleaders the whole time to like, yeah, you're underpaid. You've got to look for a better position. So I did it, and I made the switch, and I couldn't be happier. It's crazy that I dedicated myself so long into something, and now I have an income where it's about half of my income is just set aside each week. It's a different feeling pretty quick.
Man, that's amazing, Chef. I'm so glad for
Yeah.
you. Chef, anything
Yeah.
you want to say to any viewers here, any message you want to pass on to any chefs watching this?
No, just do it and stick with it. You're going to screw up. Don't use that as an excuse. But when you do screw up, you're not a failure. You're going to make up for it. So just know right away, you get back on the ball, you figure it out, and you do it. Communicate openly with Leo, be honest about the slip ups, and just move forward.
Awesome, man. Chef, thank you so much for doing this. If anyone's watching this, if you have any questions for me or for Chef Stephan, drop them in the comments, and we will get back to you. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Keep being awesome. See you on the flip side. And Chef, I will see you next week, same place, same time. Well, actually on Sunday. And yeah, in the meantime, everything is planned out. Keep me posted. Just same as this week, 100% completion. By the way, we lost 9 pounds this week, so that was a pretty good week.
Yes. And that's with a couple bites of cake yesterday too. So, there's slip ups, there's little treats sometimes, but social events like weddings and stuff like that, you have to make accommodation, but you also have to be cognizant and be willing to work for it later.
Of course, man. All right, Chef. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. See you guys soon.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.